1968, a year of upheaval, hope, heartbreak, and some of the greatest R&B and soul ever pressed to vinyl. From slow dances under dim lights to anthems that fueled entire movements. This is Groove Lens, and today we're counting down 15 unforgettable R&B and soul tracks that shaped 1968. And trust me, stick around, because the #1 song on this list didn't just top charts, it became the heartbeat of a generation. Let's drop the needle. Number 15, You Met Your Match, Stevie Wonder. The sound of a genius, growing up. By the summer of 1968, Stevie Wonder was no longer the blind teenage prodigy Motown marketed in the early 60s. But I ain't playing now for nobody. He was evolving, fast, into a musician with his own ideas, his own sound, and his own voice. You Met Your Match was one of the first tracks Stevie produced himself, proving he wasn't just a singer, he was an architect of music. Motown built the hit for AM radio. Bright horns, a bold piano riff, a sharp groove with Stevie's harmonica stitching it together. Fans remember it as a Detroit summer song, windows down, heat rising off the pavement, the track bouncing off car hoods along Woodward Avenue. The single didn't chart like his later masterpieces, but among real Motown loyalists, it marks the moment Stevie stepped out of childhood and into the beginnings of the genius we now celebrate. Number 14, Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud, James Brown. A thunderclap in the civil rights era. Say it loud! August 1968, cities were still raw from the loss of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Protests filled the streets. Younger Black Americans were demanding a fiercer, more unapologetic identity. I say we can't quit moving till we get what we deserve. Into that moment, James Brown released a record that hit like a lightning bolt. All the work I've done was for the other man. Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud was defiant. It was proud. It was fearless. The children's chorus shouting the title gave it something new. A future-facing energy. A message passed down to the next generation. This wasn't just a song on the radio. It was a chant at marches, a motto in classrooms, and a rallying cry in barbershops. James Brown didn't just make people dance. He made them believe in themselves. Doesn't sure as it take 2 eyes to make a pair. Number 13, I Wish It Would Rain, The Temptations. A song born from real-life grief. Sunshine, blue skies. Most heartbreak songs are crafted from imagination. This wasn't one of them. Lyricist Roger Penzabene wrote, I wish it would rain, after discovering his wife's infidelity, a betrayal that devastated him. Everyone knows that a man ain't supposed to cry. Listen. Just days after the song was finished, Penzabene took his own life. It's one of Motown's most tragic stories. Locked up in my room, I know to you. David Ruffin channels that pain like he lived it himself. The way his voice cracks, the way he strains on certain lines. It's raw emotion etched onto vinyl. I wanna go outside. In early 1968, this track drifted out of corner diners, bowling alleys, and dimly lit bars, where couples held each other a little tighter on the slow dance floor. It remains one of the Temptations' most gut-wrenching performances, a masterclass in soul shaped by real heartbreak. No pain, my eyes
wears such disguise.
Number 12, The Horse, Cliff Nobles and Co. The accidental instrumental that took over America. Every once in a while, a B-side becomes the hit, but rarely like this. The Horse, on a pure instrumental slide, became the soundtrack of parades, pep rallies, high school gyms, and summer block parties across the country in '68. No lyrics, no hook, just a relentless horn riff and a beat that dared you not to dance. The irony? Cliff Nobles doesn't even play on the track. It was recorded by the studio band because The Horse was meant to be a throwaway flip side. Instead, it became a million-selling phenomenon. If you were young in 1968, you probably learned the steps to it. Number 11, I'm Gonna Make You Love Me. The Supremes and the Temptations. Motown's ultimate super collab. Late 1968 brought a moment Motown fans dreamed of. Two of the label's brightest stars, the Supremes and the Temptations, sharing one record. The chemistry? Electric. The call and response between Diana Ross and Eddie Kendricks felt like a musical flirtation, and listeners ate it up. Kids mimicked the parts in living rooms. Couples sang it together in cars. Radio DJs couldn't get enough. This wasn't just a duet. It was Motown showing off its star power and proving that when their greats combined forces, magic happened. Number 10, Who's Making Love? Johnny Taylor. A cheating anthem that became a dance floor classic. Johnny Taylor's breakthrough single is one of soul music's great tricks. A warning wrapped inside a groove so funky you almost forget the message. Recorded at Stax, the song came from a backstage joke among musicians. But when Taylor stepped into the booth, he transformed it into a cautionary tale for anyone stepping out on their partner. Who's Making Love exploded on jukeboxes, bars, lounges, and basement parties. People danced and also took notes. This was Johnny Taylor's coming out moment, the record that put him on the map and set up a legendary career. Number 9, Chain of Fools, Aretha Franklin. A fierce, gospel-fired statement of power. Late 1967's release carried into '68 like wildfire. Aretha Franklin was already the queen of soul, but Chain of Fools cemented it. The guitar lick, the call and response, the grit under her voice. Everything snaps into place. Originally written for Otis Redding, it found its true home with Aretha. She takes a breakup song and turns it into a proclamation. I will not be played with. In juke joints, it made people rise from their bar stools. In living rooms, people turned up the volume. In hair salons, the whole room would sing along. A Grammy later, it stands tall as one of her most commanding moments. Number 8, You're All I Need to Get By. Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell. Number 7, Tighten Up, Archie Bell and the Drells, Houston's gift to the dance floor.
Hi everybody, we're Archie Bell and the Drells.
Before shipping out for military duty, Archie Bell recorded a track with one mission, to get the whole country moving.
Oh yeah, line up on that drum now. let that bass.
Tighten Up delivered in spades. That spoken intro, that bass line, that groove, it became a universal invitation to dance.
Up now. Oh, yeah. Now, everybody, tighten up. Come on now.
Parties across America tried to do the steps. Kids made up their own versions. Adults pretended they weren't trying, but they were.
Come on in now. Come on, baby. Oh, yeah.
This wasn't just a record, it was an experience. And when Archie returned from service, he came home to a certified hit.
Outside. Come on now.
Number 6, Lala Means I Love You, the Delphonics, the birth of the Philly soul sound, soft, romantic, elegant. This was the early blueprint of what would become the Philadelphia sound.
Lines don't mean a thing, why don't you let me?
Tom Bell's orchestration and William Hart's ethereal falsetto turned the song into a floating, dreamlike lullaby.
And though you're in the center ring, and the
It was the soundtrack of first loves. Teenagers swaying in school gyms, front porches at dusk, open windows on spring nights.
and I don't even know a song.
The simplicity of the La La refrain made it unforgettable. And its influence stretched well into the 70s, from the stylistics to Hall & Oates and beyond.
I know you're gonna see.
Number 5, I Got the Feelin', James Brown, the Godfather at full power.
That feeling. Baby, I got that
James Brown enters the list again, because 1968 was his year.
feeling. You don't know.
I Got the Feelin' is pure kinetic energy, a horn section honed like a blade, a rhythm section tight enough to stop time.
The feeling.
And James Brown in full command of every hit, scream, and shuffle. His Ed Sullivan Show performance turned the track into a cultural moment.
Sometimes I'm down.
Millions saw his footwork, charisma, and explosive stage presence, and they knew they were witnessing greatness.
Baby. Sometimes I'm up.
Decades later, musicians still study this track to understand how funk works. Number 4, I Heard It Through the Grapevine, Marvin Gaye. Moody, suspicious, and soulful, a masterpiece. Almost shelved Motown wasn't sure about releasing it. Imagine that. Marvin Gaye's version was darker and slower than Gladys Knight's upbeat hit from the previous year. Norman Whitfield's production built a slow-burning tension that smoldered through the speakers. When the label finally released it, listeners were stunned. And then it exploded into a massive hit, becoming Motown's biggest-selling single at that time. Gaye's restrained, wounded delivery made it unforgettable, a song you felt in your chest. Number 3, Sittin' On, The Dock of the Bay, Otis Redding.
Sitting in the morning,
A farewell that became an eternal classic.
and I watch him roll away again. Yeah,
Recorded just before his tragic plane crash in December 1967,
watching the ships roll in, and then
Otis Redding's Dock of the Bay arrived in early '68 like a whisper from beyond.
our home in Georgia.
Co-written with Steve Cropper, it showed a new creative direction, more introspective than anything Otis had done before.
I left my
And that whistle at the end, only a placeholder for lyrics.
roll away. Ooh, I'm sitting.
But it became one of the most iconic outros in soul history. The song became the first ever to hit #1 on both the R&B and pop charts posthumously.
On a darker bay, wasting time.
A bittersweet masterpiece, frozen in time.
Look like nothing's gonna.
#2, Slip Away, Clarence Carter.
For just a few moments.
Southern soul at its most seductive, recorded at Fame Studios.
Just to have you here.
Slip Away captures the Muscle Shoals magic in every note.
Can you slip away? Slip away.
It's a confession wrapped in velvet, a song about stolen moments, love on the side, and the weight of secrets.
Somehow.
Carter's delivery is smooth but haunted, like he knows this love isn't built to last.
When you steal it down and let me tell you.
Warm guitars, a steady rhythm, and a smoky late-night feel made it a slow burn favorite on R&B stations for decades. #1, Say It Loud. I'm Black and I'm Proud. James Brown, the anthem that defined a generation.
Put your pants up.
The only song powerful enough to take the top spot. And yes, James Brown appears again.
I worked hard with my feet and with my hands.
Because his influence in 1968 was unmatched.
Look at it. Say it loud.
Released in August, this was more than a record. It was a declaration of identity, pride, and unity at a time when Black Americans needed it most. Barbershops blasted it. Street corners echoed it. Kids shouted it in schoolyards. Marchers chanted it arm in arm. Its message is just as urgent today as it was more than 5 decades ago. James Brown didn't just make history. He gave people a voice.
Tired of beating the head against the wall and waiting for someone else.
1968 gave us soul at its most powerful. Romantic, political, spiritual, and unfiltered. These songs didn't just soundtrack a year. They carried people through a moment of real change. Now we want to hear from you. Which 1968 soul track holds the strongest memory in your life? Drop it in the comments. Your stories keep this music alive. And if you're loving these deep dives, don't miss what's next on Groove Lens. 1969, R&B and soul songs we'll never forget. Another year, another soundtrack, another chapter in the story of soul. Hit subscribe, tap the bell, and keep the grooves spinning. See you in the next one.